currently that's where I'm at in this space, and just working on and overcoming. One thing about these sipping sessions, baby, is gonna be true to me. You know, the tea that's being spilled is real-ish. Back posting the videos, I do go on my little hiatus, get back in my hermit mode from time to time. It happens, life be life. And complaints are gifts, you just don't like the rapping. Y'all gonna pick up the phone next time I call? Like, what's up?
Just copy the flex. They waiting on my new shit to drop. Where the fuck the toilet at? Sleeping on me crazy shit. Y'all thought I wasn't gon' double back. This life shit here amazing. I'm thanking God for where the fuck I'm at. Don't call if it ain't bout the rats. I don't fuck with all that chitter chat.
Y'all, the lighting is not that good because it's really kind of cloudy. So I got my ring light. I just got right into it. Hey loves, welcome back to another sipping session. What's good? So let me just say a quick little disclaimer. The window is open, so if you hear any cars, any noise, any birds, any of that, that's what it is. Got to get that fresh air coming in. Go ahead and get your wine ready. Y'all know me, sipping on the Chardonnay. Got the Yellowtail Chardonnay today. So let's go ahead and pour up the glass. It seems like every time I pour on camera, I always pour a big glass. Dang. Got my laptop. Y'all know the memo. I got my laptop right here so I can, because I got my notes. I'm going to prop them up right here. I want to be able to go back to the notes to make sure I'm staying on topic of my points, because I broke down basically what I want to talk about into little segments. Okay, so sipping session number 3. Go ahead and take a sip with me. Take a sip with me. Get your drinks. Get whatever make you comfortable. Do you, boo? But yes, you already know. Today we're going to be talking about bringing change into your comfortability. Bring change in your comfortability. I've really been wanting to talk about that because, as you know, I talk about things that I'm currently working on, or either overcame or either currently working on. And lately, that is something that I'm currently working on, bringing change into my comfortability, because as you already know, if you don't already know, but I stayed in my last sipping session, and I just stayed a lot on my channel. I'm a very comfortable person. I'm a Taurus. I'm comfortable by nature, and I love to be comfortable. Being comfortable is not always key. Being comfortable is, I don't want to say it's not always key, but comfortability fluctuates. That's what I can say. Comfortability fluctuates, and I just feel like being that change is only constant, that's something that I want to be able to fluctuate with, is change, and not just be so stagnant when I'm in a comfortable place and not be really ready to initiate change or receive that change, if that makes sense. First point that I want to talk about with bringing change in your comfortability is calm in the midst of changes. That was one of my first bullet points, calm in the midst of changes. Well, for example, okay, let's give, you know I love to give examples. For example, let's say something came up or something last minute came up. I have a Zoom call, something that I need to do, something last minute came up. I would literally overthink and basically make myself so anxious because I'm so wrapped up in my head about it and overthinking what I need to do or what I got to do. Am I fully prepared? Just having all these questions with myself. And it's like, I just want to woosah and just, you know, just really stay calm in the midst of changes. Just take my deep breaths and just really know, okay, it was a change in this, or just a delay. If it's a change, delay, any of that. That probably wasn't the best example, but if I have a Zoom call and all of a sudden it gets canceled or something, but I was ready. It's just like staying calm in the midst of changes, any abrupt changes that's unexpected, just any change, just changes in general. And it's like, I just want to be able to stay calm and keep my composure, because at the end of the day, all I have control over is myself. Calm in the midst of changes, that's just something that I've really been working on and been really just wanting to stay at, is just being able to keep calm in the midst of changes. Let's take a sip. Next point that I'm going to be talking about. So this one is just a quote. So both of my next 2 points are basically quotes, but I just basically want to expand on them because I felt like it really went with just what I was going to be talking about in this sipping session, just bringing change into your comfortability and just adapting to change in general. It's by Walt Disney, and I'm just going to pop it up here on the screen, and it states, "The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing." example about how, or just give a reference about how that's currently taking place in my life now. So say the previous week or so, I'm just now getting over it, but I'll say about the previous 2 weeks has really, 2 to 3 weeks, I'll say, has really been like difficult for me because I feel like I've been in like a stagnant place. I just really felt just not like myself. For example, I took on a project for bucket hats that I do because I started making bucket hats and selling them. Took on a new project and I had to make some bucket hats, and it's like those last 2-3 weeks I didn't do anything, couldn't even cut out the bucket hats, just really getting into that feel of sewing. I just felt like I wasn't really feeling myself. And it was like I wanted to transmute the energy, but I also wanted to understand what was going on with myself. Initially, after just doing that soul searching and self-reflection and shadow work, of course, it just really boggled down to it's me finding a new balance in my life. And it's like with so many changes being brought back onto me or just adapting to the new changes, it's like I made myself overwhelmed in a sense. And it was like I didn't realization that was overwhelming for me. I had to step back and just let myself know, like, okay, acknowledge how I'm feeling, let myself know that it's okay to feel how I feel, and just go through those emotions and not stay stagnant within those emotions. Also, me knowing that I'm doing a project, I also was just overthinking, beating myself up because it's like I wanted to have it done. As soon as he gave it to me, I wanted to have it done within that first week, and it was like the energy just shifted. And it was like I was battling between let him know because I didn't want to seem, I guess you could say I really just didn't want to seem like a failure or just like I didn't take my craft seriously because I really wanted to sew and I really wanted to be in that energy, but it was just like mentally and physically I was not there. And sometimes you just can't force things. Sometimes you just have to sit and reflect, acknowledge what is going on, feel those emotions, and just do the work to try to prosper through it. That's really what I was taking the time to do, and I did end up touching bases with him. He was very understanding. I don't even want to say understanding. He was understanding of what was going on, and I really appreciated that because I really felt like, I just thought the project honestly was going to have to be scrapped, and it was just like, on to the next type of deal. But I was really glad to have somebody who understands my journey and what I was currently battling with at that time. The reference back to that quote, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. And it was like, instead of me just overthinking and talking about what I want to do and keep saying what I want to do, is like I had to really push. I really had to push myself past my limitations that I thought I had on myself. And it was like I started pushing myself day by day. Okay, I got the pattern for the bucket hat, and then next cut out the pieces for the bucket hat that I had to for the bucket hats that I had to make because it's multiple. But just go ahead each day, just working towards that day by day, step by step, and just not allowing myself to be stagnant and complacent with where I'm at. Embracing that change and my comfortability, embracing that change and comfortability, but also knowing in my comfortability I cannot sit and be stagnant in. I really wanted to bring that Walt Disney quote because when I had heard that, I was just like, man, that is literally the vibe, the mood, the feeling. Yes, all that. Next point. I'm sorry if it's kind of like all over the place, but I'm trying to break it down and make it make sense, but you'll get it. Oh, this is another quote that I was talking about. And I don't know the woman, it was a video that I was watching in class, in my management class. And of course we was talking about management stuff, but we were watching a video and it's kind of like them TED Talk things. Well, it wasn't really a TED Talk, but it was a presentation. A woman like presenting, speaking to a crowd or whatever. And when she said this, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta write that down, and that's definitely gonna be in the next sipping session. Complaints are gifts, you just don't like the wrapping. Read it again. Complaints are gifts, you just don't like the wrapping. Oftentimes, instead of taking complaints as jabs or just feeling like he about to get you, basically. I like the characteristic that she used, those basically used the metaphor as like complaints being gifts, because it's like they're very opposing, but that's a great way to look at it because at the end of the day, it's still a gift. Like she said, you just might not like the wrapping, the presentation, whoever said it, whatever the case may be. But it's like, doesn't mean that information wasn't needed at the time, or that complaint didn't mean something. That like points also to like duality, acknowledging the good and bad, and it's like seeing the good within the bad, and also the bad within the good. Like what could have been better with the good, and what could have been different with the bad. I just feel like me being my worst critic, that is something that I fear when putting myself out there. I've always feared just judgment or critic from others, and it's like that's something that's held me back for a long time. And it's like when I heard that quote, I'm like, dang, I wish I would have heard that 6'5", my younger self. I wish I would have heard that and really just thought about it the way that I took it in when I heard it. It's just really what it is. It's not that you didn't need to hear it. And like I was saying, I held myself back from that for a long time, just being fear of judgment and critics. And it's like now I'm like, whoever got something to say, they like what they saw, either, take it as feedback. Critic gonna be a critic. At the end of the day, there's gonna be that love and that hate. And it's like once you realize you getting both, you're doing something right. You're doing something right. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. Lonely versus solitude. My definition of lonely versus solitude, to me, lonely is basically being alone but craving company, and then as solitude is just craving your own alone time, just craving to be with yourself. Yeah, I just been more so yearning to be around others and others' company. And it's like, ever been like, I know many of us have been in cases where it's like you're by yourself and then you want company, and then you end up getting around company, and then like 5-10 minutes into having a company, you're like, I really could have just been doing this by myself and really could have just been alone and chilling. That's when you realize like, okay, I was just lonely, versus really being in your solitude and being alone. That's something that I've really just been having discernment with and keeping a balance with, just knowing when I'm lonely and when I need to be in solitude, or when solitude is basically what's best for me. I would say you can be in solitude too much, because someone like me, one thing I do love and don't mind being is to myself in the house 24/8. And it's no problem with that. That's good. Stay out the way. But also, I feel like in a sense, it kind of makes me awkward when it comes to social events or gathering, or just being social in a sense, because I'm so used to my solitude that I don't really know how to interact with others. It's just been really something that I've been really trying to grasp, and not just really been just trying to be in the company of others just because I'm the type of person that I'm really intentional about who I'm around and what I'm around. And I just want to keep it that way and just keep the balance and not make sure I'm not being just too stuck in my own head, because I feel like that's another thing that also keeps me in my own way, just being too stuck in my solitude. And as a human, we need human interaction. Just learning how to interact and just understand being lonely versus in my solitude. So one thing about these sipping sessions, baby, is gonna be true to me. The tea that's being spilled is really. Sorry for the background noises. Like I said, once again, I do have my window open, so if you do hear anything, that's the outside. Last little point is a quote, and this is a quote that I had got from an interview that I was watching with Janae Aiko. And I've watched this interview like multiple times, but I've always loved just this part of the interview and what they was talking about, because it goes back to like that being alone versus being lonely. They were talking about that as well, but I just said lonely versus solitude. Here's the phrase. It's by a German philosopher. Life is a dream and we are asleep, but once in a while we wake up to know that we are dreaming. Basically, to interpret that in my way, I feel like that's saying out of that days of what we know and just really stepping into that what we believe. And that was also like the last sipping session that I talked about, when I was just saying off of what I know onto what I believe. Being the dream is us knowing these things, or what we already know, or what we grew up being taught, and things of sort. That's the word I was trying to get taught. Things that we were taught. That's the dream, us being in that dream state. And then when it's like when we awake from that dream state, it's us stepping on to what we believe. And for ourselves and just being on our own journeys. So it's really different perspective. What do y'all think about that? I'd like to hear y'all view on that quote too. When you hear that, what do you think? What vibes does that give you? Let's talk about that in the comments. Like my sipping sessions, I want to start interacting in the comments. Another thing too with bringing change in my comfortability, also just stepping out of my norms. For example, like y'all know I'm not really one to start like conversations and stuff like that. Like thankfully, naturally people gravitate towards me, so it's not like unless it's just a quick question or something. But when I'm actually talking about like starting conversations with people, getting to know people, and just talking, just being more social with others. And I just feel like lately, knowing that I'm not like that, stepping out of my comfortability and doing what I know, doing things out of my norm, basically. For example, like I said, I know I'm not really one to start up a conversation, so it's like now I'm being the one to start up conversations, like, you know, asking questions, hey, what's your name, or starting off with a compliment like, I like your outfit. Just really taking that initiative to be more social and start conversations, knowing that I'm not really one to start interactions. So that's another way that I'm just bringing change into my comfortability. So getting out more, like just getting out the house more, doing more things, hanging out more, and just meeting new people and allowing myself to really adventure off and like showcase who I am and the personality that I have. I feel like this sipping session, usually when I be doing sipping sessions, like I feel like this sipping session was probably one that went by really, I wouldn't say really quick, but it was pretty just straight to the point. Currently, that's where I'm at in this space and just working on and overcoming. Really hope that I was able to give you a gem or two, you know, to take on. It's been like 2 weeks, or well, it's probably like 3 weeks now, going on like 3 weeks since I posted. And I do already have a vlog ready, edited, but I really wanted to do my sipping session first because I want to be consistent with these and keep these going because I really enjoy doing them, and just bringing that sit down version onto my channel because I feel like also that gets a little more, you know, just a little one-on-one, a little connect, a little FaceTime call. What's up? You know? Back posting the videos. I do go on my little hiatus, get back in my hermit mode from time to time. It happens, life be life. I am going to be consistent on here. I am going to be posting more, showcasing more. Just let me know what y'all want to see. Interact with me in the comments. You know, talk to me, vibe with me, you know? That was really that. That's the end of the sipping session. I done finished the glass. It's been a vibe. We got into it. Yes, shirt made by TG. Tits trying to pop out on the side. Gotta hold them. Yes. Ooh. Oh, failed, y'all. Shirt by TG. Get at me. Follow me on Instagram and all my other socials. I'm definitely gonna be continuing doing sipping sessions and just doing more of these. And yeah, like I said, getting my YouTube back. It's that time. Yeah. What's some new changes that you're bringing into your life? Comment that down below. And yeah, let's talk, let's chat, come on. I hope y'all enjoyed this sipping session. It's been a vibe. I enjoyed filming it. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on my socials to keep in touch with me. Y'all gonna pick up the phone next time I call? Like, what's up? Peace, love, and dopeness.
Just copy the flex. They waiting on my new shit to drop. Where the fuck the toilet at? Sleeping on me crazy shit. Y'all thought I wasn't gon' double back. This life shit here amazing. I'm thanking God for where the fuck I'm at. Don't call if it ain't bout the rats. I don't fuck with all that chitter chat.